All right, guys, in this video, I'm gonna teach you how to build a personal brand as an introvert, how to stand out as an introvert, right? If you wanna build a personal brand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you as much tough love as possible, right? What I want you to understand is whatever you describe yourself as is who you are and what you're gonna be, right? If you are gonna call yourself an introvert, you're going to behave like one. I would prefer, I am giving you this from the bottom of my heart, that you stop describing yourself as things that don't suit you, that these beliefs that are not great for you, right? You are whatever the fuck you want to be. Stop calling yourself things and switch, learn. You have a learning deficiency. You have a skill deficiency. You're not a great communicator. You have to learn how to become a great communicator. Whether or not you like to stay at home by yourself or not, buddy, we all do. But if you have a fucking business, you're going to have to learn things in order for your products and services to be consumed, or you won't make money. Guess what? The marketplace don't give a fuck if you're an introvert. They don't care. Do your products and services solve their problem? Does your products and services solve my problem? I don't give a fuck who you are or what you stand for. Do they solve my problem? So guess what? Calling yourself anything does not suit you. Whatever you believe that you are is not going to actually make you any money. You have to be more focused on how you can provide value to the customer instead of describing yourself as something. So I would seriously suggest you stop calling yourself that, right? What is really going on is you lack communication skills. Right? Your communication skills, I wrote that. Your communication skills are lacking. You have not become an effective communicator. So what you need to do is say, okay, how do I get better at communicating? You can still like to stay at home and not communicate with people, but I don't know how you're gonna get people to give you money if you don't know how to communicate with them. You gotta learn how to communicate. You gotta have belief in your products and services. You gotta have conviction in what you do, in what you're selling, in what you're teaching. Because people need to believe that who they're purchasing from, they actually has confidence in the thing that they're buying. Imagine trying to buy something from somebody and they don't even believe in it themselves. Would you buy? Mr. Introvert, let me ask you a question. All right, Mr. or Mrs. Introvert, let me ask you a question. If you wanted to buy something, who would you rather buy from? Somebody who had conviction around their products and services or somebody who did not? So, does this belief actually serve you? No, it does not. You have to learn communication skills. You have to learn how to accurately talk about your products and services in a way that provides value to people. And you can still be an introvert and do this. I know I just talk shit about y'all introverts, but you can still be an introvert and still communicate effectively. Okay? Focus on value. Focus on the consumer. It's not about you. I know you want to build a personal brand, but effectively, their personal brand is not about you. Your personal brand needs to be about something that the people relate to. Your personal brand is my consumers care about what I'm talking about. So essentially, it's not a personal brand. Essentially, it's their brand. I'm just the person behind it. I'm the face of it. Whatever products and services you're going to create, personal brand or not, the people need to relate to something. They need to feel like you're the person that can bring them some kind of outcome. Maybe they watch your videos or they watch your content or they buy your products because your products make them feel a certain way. Your products give them motivation. Your products give them drive. People need to feel value from what they're getting from you. They need to feel it. And you can still be an introvert and do this. If you focused on value and the consumer. These two things go hand in hand, right? How can I keep providing value to the consumer? How can my products and services be based around them? How can they be based around giving them as much value as possible, right? So they can find value, they can want to keep purchasing from me. Now, if you like to stay at home and not talk to people, that's fair. There's no problem with that. But you got to just understand that people are going to want to they're going to want to buy from somebody who has conviction. So the way you stand out is just to focus on this model. All right? I can be an introvert, I can be at home and not like to talk to people, but if I want people to buy my products and services, I need to provide value to the consumer consistently. I need to be able to, how about this? You can use the fact that you're an introvert and talk about it. As an introvert business owner, here are some problems I have with this market. And you can relate to that. There are plenty of introverts out there. Or people who call themselves that, right? I personally believe that you should stop calling yourself something that doesn't serve you to the utmost degree. I am whatever I want to be. That's my mindset. But you can still relate people. You can relate to people by the fact that you're trying to become better because you feel more introverted. You're trying to be able to communicate with the world with this problem. Okay? So as long as you provide value to the consumer consistently, they have to feel like what they're getting from you is going to make their lives better. You can be whatever you want to be and still make money. As long as you do this effectively. All right? The thing I see people struggle with the most is they're so selfish. Human beings are unbelievably selfish to a degree that they don't understand that you can actually get whatever you want when you become not as selfish and selfless, right? People don't understand that. You can get the most from people if you give them something first. If they feel like your intentions are for their best benefit. So because we're so selfish, we're foolishly selfish. You can be smart and selfish because we all need to survive. Our purpose on this planet is to survive. So we naturally have to be selfish as human beings. We get that. But I can still get whatever I want if people, right, get from me first. My mindset is golden handcuffs. This is a term in business that I think is very valuable for this conversation. Golden handcuffs. Let's say you have employees, right? My mindset with the people that work with me, with my partners and whatever, I want to pay them the best. I don't want anybody to be able to compete with the pay that my partners or my employees are getting. That's called golden handcuffs, right? Because I know that if I put their livelihood, their income first, and I teach them to be better, they're going to want to be better because they're going to find value in wanting to get better. People can grow as much as they want to if they feel like there is an incentive to. So what a lot of business owners is, they think is, okay, how do I pay my employees the least? How do I give them the least amount of money? How do I get from people? I want to get and take. I want people to serve me, but I don't want to serve people. I want people to do for me, but I don't want to do for people. Well, in reality, you can get people to do whatever you want. If they feel like you care about them, if they feel like they're gonna get from you first. This is why probably one of the best marketing strategies is giving out free ebooks, giving out free courses. People, it's called reciprocity for a reason. People are more willing to give if they get. So if you want to get from people, if you want them to give you money, give them something of value because they're selfish. We all are. Use the nature of human beings, right, to your advantage. You know that people are selfish. I know that people are selfish. I'm selfish. You selfish. We all fucking selfish. But in order for you to use it as an advantage, give people something first so they will now feel compelled to give you things. They will now feel compelled to want to buy your products and services. They feel like they've gotten something. All right? So if you provide value, right, you remember the law of reciprocity. When you give, people feel compelled to give back. You can get whatever you want. Golden handcuffs, pay people very well, people who work for you. Make sure that nobody can compete on pay. Right? You want people to stay in your products and services. You want people to stay in your company for the longest. You want your brand to be value first. Think about Amazon. Think about Amazon. Jeff Bezos' strategy from the beginning of time was consumer, consumer, consumer. The consumer, the consumer, the consumer. The consumer, the consumer, the consumer. How do I make the consumer's process so easy? How do I make their experience with our site, with our brand so seamless? It's not because Jeff Bezos gives a fuck about you. He doesn't give a fuck about you or me. He understands the law of reciprocity. He understands that if he can make your life as easy as possible, guess what you're gonna keep doing? Purchasing from his site. You give, people will give back. All right? You make people's lives harder. You try to take from people. You make their experiences difficult. They won't give you shit. Okay? And this is how, listen, as an introvert, you can stand out. All right?